probably about empty. So I keep my phone stationary. So the shoulder Wagner is similar to a paver. The only thing is, where it's a big difference. The machine itself, it moves. And it has an extension on the right hand side. I think this one extends out about 2.5 by 2.5, in which it lays down the ASB stone. You're gonna keep the truck in neutral and ride the brakes very lightly, just like on the paver. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Jay, and as always, I am not making too much noise. So it has been a long week. After today, it is now Saturday evening, and I am sitting at right at 100 hours. Literally right at 100 hours. I worked 5 days, 6 nights. 5 days, 6 nights. And I got right at 100 hours for the week. I'm not going to tell you how much money I'm making per an hour, but just know that I put in some work this week. Well, my truck put in some work. My father helped out by driving partially at nighttime, because I definitely needed some help. And sometimes they will use his truck as well, but this week they only called for one truck, so he was able to split a shift with me or relieve me like at midnight, and it works out that way. But in today's video, I am going to be going over the best way for you all to find work for your dump truck, whether you are interested in getting into the business or whether it's just out of plain curiosity and being an outsider looking in. I am here to provide you all with that helpful and insightful information. So to begin, you need to have an idea of how the market works in your area. For instance, right here where I'm located in Central North Carolina, the market depends on small independent owners and operators such as myself. Whereas if I go to another jurisdiction here in North Carolina, the market is more affiliated around large fleet parent corporations that are split or divided into 3 separate companies in which they bogart the work, and that can make it extremely difficult for small companies to thrive and flourish in the dump truck industry. So it's very important that you have an understanding on how the work is being controlled in your area, along with who is controlling the work. That is very essential. But fortunately here, we are more independent based, although you do have some large companies that try to dictate things. But thankfully, due to our DOT laws, the work has to be divided so that the smaller companies can get a piece of the pie. It's enough work so that everyone can eat. There's no need for all of the cupidity and selfishness. But as always, you are going to have those people that want it all for themselves. You're going to have those cutthroaters in the industry as well that are going to try to take over the work by cutting down on the rates. I mean, that's for any business. So you have to prepare for that. And it just goes to show that, not all work is going to be good work, and not all people are going to be good people in the business world, right? And by like the work, I mean like some jobs are not even worth being on, because you have these for instance, we use brokers in the dump truck game. Like sometimes I go through a broker, but fortunately mine is he's loyal for one, and he's an honest guy. So he doesn't do me wrong by any means. He looks out for me. He puts his independence ahead of his trucks when it comes in terms of going out on like certain jobs that when a construction company might have you hauling out some heavy, like I do have a construction bed on my truck, but sometimes they be loading like heavy boulders and they want you in these conditions that are just very rough on your truck. I mean, especially in off-road conditions, your truck is bouncing, the ground isn't graded properly. And also he will send his trucks out on the jobs that are located far away. So I have a very good broker, and he pays me either weekly or bi-monthly, twice a week. It depends on if I want my money, if I want to deduct 10% or 5%. But he has enough work to definitely keep dedicated work to keep me busy on a consistent and steady basis. So not all brokers are like him. You have some on the other hand that, especially if you are new to the business, they will, if they sense that you might be kind of naive or gullible or desperate, they might try to take advantage of you by holding on to your money for long periods of time. I'm talking like nat 60, nat 90, or they might send you out on the jobs that just are not worth going on. In other words, they are feeding you the scraps. You know, so you have to know who you work for, right? And that's why I prefer the work on DOT jobs, because the contracts are funded through the government, meaning that I know my money is there. I know my money is going to be there. It should be there. I know I can get my money. I know I can, I know who to speak to get my money. Whereas on private jobs, for instance, I got a guy who I just met. I worked with him for the first time this past week, and he worked for a company about 5 months ago. For an entire month, they owe him $18,000, between $18,000 to $20,000, and they filed bankruptcy. So now he's him and some other guys that worked on that for that contractor are in the process of taking them to court. And I got an outfit that owes me, a grading outfit owes me right at $2,500 because they did a job in which it didn't pass inspection. Therefore, the company they did the job for decided to go with somebody else. And guess what? This company didn't get paid. They didn't get paid, so I didn't get paid. So I'm just gonna write that off as, just a tax write-off. It sucks. I was a little bit upset about it, but bosses take losses. Bosses take losses. I just have to keep it moving forward. So you have to be aware of definitely who you work for. And I fell into a trap because I was making $125 an hour on this job, whereas I normally make with my quad between 105 to 110. So was it worth the extra $15 to $20 an hour? No. Sometimes you can't chase the money. You have to think smartly in this business. But I'm gonna tell you all the absolute best way to find work for your dump truck. So if you live in an area that is, or near an area that is surrounded with infrastructure, there's going to be work available for dump trucks. There's no what ifs about it, but it's all about working smart and knowing who to work for. And this is the best method. So what I would do is contact your local rock quarries and asphalt plants, because they are more likely to connect you or get you in contact with a prime contractor, a prime company. And a lot of these asphalt plants and rock quarries are prime companies themselves. And what a prime company does is they are contracted through the state to do an entire project. I mean, the trucking is just one phase of it. Like when you see a highway being constructed over, just say a 4-year process, a prime company is doing the entire project. I mean, they are doing the clearing, the grading, the paving. I mean, they are doing everything, right? So they have a whole lot of work, steady, consistent work. You know, so if you contact one of these, like your local asphalt plant or rock quarry, because these prime companies, they got to use rock. They pave, they got to use asphalt, right? So if you you contact them, the rock quarry can get you in contact with the subcontractor that these prime companies are using to broker in trucks, right? And if you get in contact with that subcontractor, then they can put you to work. But you are going to need to show proof of a certificate of insurance in which they want to, like for instance, most companies I work for all require a $1 million insurance coverage policy. And they also want to see proof of workers' comp, right? And you need to definitely have your information in order, such as your EIN number and your DOT numbers, right? You want all that important information available beforehand. But it's up to you to consult with the company to know exactly what they need as far as insurance goes. Some might require a $2 million policy, so it varies. But these prime companies are, like for instance, I work for a prime paving outfit, right? So they pave all of the DOT roads in my area. It's a prime company. They have their own rock quarry. They have their own rock quarry, their own asphalt plant, and their own concrete plant. And they do major projects. So I'm always busy. That's why I say contact a rock quarry or asphalt plant, because if they get you in touch with one of these prime companies, you'll have a lot of consistent work. But you also need to make sure that the broker or whoever is using you to work are trustworthy. You want to make sure that you're getting paid at least I'm gonna be honest with you, you want to get paid at least every 2 weeks, because these brokers, they can't say they're getting paid net just say net 45, net 30, right? But they should have the cash flow build up to, like on these big jobs, to make sure that the trucks can be taken care of, because that net 30 plus, when you got bills to pay that come out monthly, that's too long to wait. It's expensive out here. But another thing is, these rock quarries and asphalt plants can run you directly. For instance, an asphalt plant might get you in contact with like a small paving outfit that are looking for trucks, and you don't have to go through a broker. Sometimes these rock quarries are looking for trucks to run directly through. You just need to make sure that you have the appropriate information. You know, in DOT jobs, sometimes they might require that you have your DBE, MBE, or WBE certifications in order to qualify to work. So you just have to check, because certain jobs do require that you have those certificates. You know, so you have to definitely be sure to consult with whoever's in charge there. I mean, some DOT jobs are more strict than that of others. But outside of that, you also can contact your local, sand pits, landfills. And also, if you see like construction going on, I've had success in the past. Stop by and consult. I mean, speak with someone on the ground. They might need you to haul dirt out. They might need you to haul dirt in. They might need you to haul some stone in. Just getting out and introducing yourself can go a long way. And also, if you see like, well, I wouldn't really consider this, like if you see like a lot of trucks, dump trucks going to a job, like, and you can catch them at a gas station, speak with a driver, but a lot of times those people will be giving you like a false narrative or misinterpretation. when we talk to like random people, they sugarcoat things. They make it seem better than what it is, or sometimes they might not, they might not want for you to steal their work, so they might make it sound worse than what it is. You got gatekeepers in the game as well. But to me, trying to get in contact with a prime company is going to be your best bet, because they have a lot of these prime companies. They have both day and night work. So I work for a prime company underneath my broker, and it keeps me busy. I don't mind him taking that percentage, because I have consistent, steady, dedicated work, and he looks out for me. But hopefully this video was informative to those outsiders looking in. I'm about to go get some sleep myself. I was about to go out to all the homecoming, the NCCU's homecoming this weekend, but I'm gonna let them have that this year. I'm tired. My rest comes first. But I will see you all on the next one. I'm outie. Peace.